Hey everybody, it is Tuesday late lunch talks with your boy Dre. I'm your host, obviously the host with the mostest, and I am just sorry for being about a few minutes late, but I did say it's late lunch. Now it's not obviously lunch. I'm having my Starbucks. I had to go get some medicine today. People have been asking me, Dre, I heard you're under the weather. Yes, I'm fighting a bad flare, rheumatoid arthritis flare up. It is on my right elbow, so it is annoying and it hurts. So I apologize that I have not been, feeling 100%. Hey, Rolando, good to see you. Hey, Carol, nice to see you too. So we have a little bit of things to talk about. One of the things I wanted to do was because Rory had asked this of me. I had to go pick up my medicine, and I always like to go by the toy section with her. And she wanted to show that she got a minion. This is the Mega Minions Tim from Despicable Me #4, the movie 4, which we are going to go see. Hey, Yukon Phil, good to see you, brother. Always good. Glad you're back. We're going to talk because I had to get you back on the show. But yeah, Peanut got this and she loves the Minions. We actually watched the movie again last night. So she had requested that I, get her this. So I got it for her. There's a whole bunch of them. The figures have there's a Target exclusive 3 pack. Um, so if you guys have kids that are interested, or if you're interested in the Minions, there are some things to get. Peanut, you want to say hi to everybody? Wave. There you go. See. So I'm gonna open up her Minion while we're talking. So there's been a ton of news going on in the world of toys. I saw Hey Archer this morning. Hashtag Team Replay Archer. I know I'm sorry I didn't get to watch your show as it aired yesterday. I was actually very under the weather. I was fighting a fever for the better part of the entire afternoon and morning. So I did want to comment on on a few things. One thing I saw that he had talked about was the Caped Crusader show that Amazon's getting. Now, with the Caped Crusader show, there you go, boo. So the Caped Crusader show is set in the 1940s. Now, being that it's set in the 1940s, it's why the suit is a different Batman. They actually there's actually quite a bit of news about it. One of the big pieces of news is that Harley Quinn is Asian American. And that they did actually change her concept again. So this is actually for the second time in the animated series of Batman, they have done something huge where Harley is getting a change. Harley was introduced to us as a character in the TV show and then became a comic book character through the animated series in the early 90s. Now, Dr. Harley Quinzel, or sorry, Dr. Quinzel and Harley are going to be two different personalities. Dr. Quinzel is going to be like the positive, good, outgoing doctor, and then Harley is going to be the sadistic, evil version. They also said that Gordon's going to be African American, which I think is cool because that kind of is a nod to Matt Reeves, the Batman. But I figured because Matt Reeves is working on the project, as well as Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams, you know, my hats off to him. I love that we have a very awesome selected cast. So I just wanted to touch on that for those of you that watch Hey Archer. Hey Archer, I know if you watch this, I'm equally a huge Batman fan, so that's why I saw that news and I had read up on it, so I wanted to talk about it on my show today. The other bit of news is Planet of the Apes. So for those of you that have gone to see the new Planet of the Apes movie, it has actually gotten very good rave reviews. And on top of the rave reviews that it has received, the movie itself is part of a 9-movie series. 9 movies. This is excluding the 60s and 70s, Charlton Heston movies. This excludes the Tim Burton, Mark Wahlberg one, even though the Tim Burton movie is canon to the Planet of the Apes movie series. I didn't believe that till Dave and I had done some research on it, which we had planned to do a whole show on it. But we still have that plan. It's just something funny that I had remembered. Now, the fact that this series has already done, this is movie 5, which means that we are expecting 4 more films out of this series. So I'm excited to see what they're planning. And for those of you who are wondering what I'm drinking, this is a zero sugar. This is a ice brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso, extra espresso, and 2 pumps of the zero sugar vanilla. No regular sugar in this. No pumps of classic syrup. No nothing. I did put a dot of agave syrup in here. That's it. Yeah, Rolando, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't think that this was gonna be. Um, I didn't think that, but it does feel like. Honestly, I want to say it's older than Star Wars. This is stuff that was, you know, around the same time, if not planned before that. So it's a possibility. And Carol, they that's the other thing. They've gotten 5, and the last one we got was War for the Planet of the Apes, and that I think was, let me see, War for the Planet of the Apes. That was 2017. So it took them 5 years to get this 5th movie out. So to know that this plan was for 9 films and that we're only at movie 5, that does put me to question if they're going to get them all out. They may not. It'd be interesting to see if they do. But that was something that piqued my interest as, I was looking on the internet, and that was like, for mere shits and giggles, I didn't think that anything of it. But obviously, I saw Archer talked about it. It's kind of been a big point of contention among the Star Wars fans that we have the cantina. I'm not going to go into that HasLab, the leaks. It is what it is. You know, um, I'm I'm a Star Wars fan, but HasLabs have kind of worn their welcome out with me. I get the idea that we want to look at crowdfunding and crowdsourcing for toys, especially higher end stuff. But the most successful ones are either the one-to-one scale proton packs, the larger scale transformers like Unicron, or large scale vintage collection vessels and or classified edition vehicles for GI Joe. You haven't done a Ranger HasLab. You haven't done, you know, honestly, they haven't done a Power Rangers HasLab. And if they have, they haven't done it in a long time. That is something as a point of contention I would have with them. I wonder if that would be like the next like logical step. Would that be you know, because Mattel Creations does some great stuff with the WWE, and even they're struggling now because if you go to Target, all those figures are like clearance and out. Being brand new, that Hulk Hogan, the Captain Lou Albano, and the Sheik, and all those figures are like $12 now. They're on sale. I saw them when I was just at the Target to get my medicine. $12. You know, Ultimate figures are hard to come by. I did see, and I hate Funko Pops. I mean, they are a gateway drug into collecting. I'm not. Don't get that wrong. Um, I do want the Zelina Vega Funko Pop, and the only reason I want it is because she's holding the Puerto Rican flag, and it was her when she was in Puerto Rico for Backlash last year when they did the pay-per-view in Puerto Rico, and it was her when she came out in the ring gear with the flag. I was like, if you guys made a Damian Priest with that, that would be dope too. I'd probably get that as well. I am waiting for them to do a Damian Priest Funko Pop, or at least an updated Damian Priest figure. I'll purchase that one as well. I won't buy the Zelina Vega figure, but I will get the Funko Pop. I think that'd be cool for my work desk, which is literally right there. So that was like the last little bit of news I saw. Um, I did hear talks of X-Men toys not getting not us not getting a second series of X-Men figures till probably next year. Retro carded, but they haven't even, to be very honest, right now, the only Marvel Legend new that dropped, which was the Superior Iron Man from the Zabu wave. And I pre ordered I pre-ordered some of those figures, but I'm not getting. I decided to opt out. I don't need them for my collection. I was gonna get build the cat because I thought he was cool, but I really just want the Cable. I may get the Wolfsbane because I know for whatever reason mutants are going to start showing up in the cartoon in the X-Men cartoons a lot more, and I feel like they're going to be harder and harder to come by. And this is a re-release of her figure from, I want to say, at least 2014, 2013, maybe. That's the time when I wasn't collecting Marvel Legends. So I don't know. I mean, you guys in the chat, let me know, what are you guys looking for? Because I'm gonna be very honest. Toy stores, and when I say toy stores, I use that word very loosely. It feels like we are seeing that downward trend again in the market. Like I've been saying, you know, your Rosses, your Ollie's, your Targets, your Walmarts, your GameStops, your Best Buys, they're just not carrying stuff anymore. I don't know why. Even my comic book shop has been struggle busting getting figures in. Um, Classifieds are not showing up in the stores. I mean, literally, when is the next wave of classifieds due out? I know I see a bunch of them on Hasbro Pulse, but when are the next waves hitting stores? When is the next wave of Marvel Legends hitting stores? Because I do know that they have stated that every other wave of Marvel Legends will not show up unless it's a specialty store. So, are we going to ever see that Zabu wave hit a Target? I don't think so. I think that the Zabu wave is going to be like the last wave with Blade, that you can only find them in a GameStop or a local comic shop. And Carol, you're not wrong with that. I think that you're very right that a lot of it is going to go more online. And I kind of made that comment loosely, and I know I get a lot of hate in the community for saying that, but I mean it's true. I don't toy hunt. I respect Rolando, Phil, you know, EC collecting, Figure Fever, several of these guys and girls that go out and do these toy hunts. I respect the hell out of you for it. But I don't toy hunt to film it because I feel awkward. Like RB says, if real Batman, if you follow him, you should. He's amazing. Very good friend of mine, very good supporter of the community and of this channel. Um, he made that comment too. It's like I feel awkward, like as photogenic and as much as the camera can love me, and I love the camera. I don't like taking my phone or a freaking full on gimbal camera into a Target where there's kids and adults, whether if I were to go at early in the morning or late in the evening, the Targets that I go to, that I frequent to get my groceries or medicine or whatever we need for the kids and my wife and myself, you know, it it's it's at a place where it's just there's teenagers and there's other people and the employees, and it just makes people feel awkward. And Phil, how many times have you and I talked about this? Yukon Phil said it best, folks. He says toy hunting is nearly dead. I'd say it's on life support. It's on life support in every area. I think people just don't want to say it, to be very honest. I feel like a lot of people are going out and saying, "Oh man, toy hunts are still good." Mm, I'm gonna be very honest. Guys like Sentry the Mad Collector, very good friend of the channel, love Ron to death. Ron has been traveling to other states. He doesn't just stay in New York anymore in Westchester County, where I used to go to school and he went to school, same school. We both graduated from. And it's hilarious to see him go to Philly, to go to Jersey, to go to Connecticut. And he stopped going to Connecticut. Now he's been traveling further down and going outwards. You know, you look at guys like, Seth. I'm going to mention Seth. Seth, another great YouTuber, and I love watching his content when I can. Seth, huge in the community. He himself, when he goes on toy hunts, he says he's having little and little, like he has little success, But then he notices he leaves the state and he gets more success, but even still, it's not as much. So, Figure Fever, dude, I just mentioned you, bro. It's good to see you. So, yeah, a lot of, it's something I wanted to mention. Like I said, news and Grails. We're going to get to the Grails in a little bit. About 15 more minutes, we're going to talk about, we'll get about it. So let's see. I want to see here. In my opinion, the only way to be successful in toy hunting is to go every day to multiple stores. I don't have the time, so I'm mostly unsuccessful. So, Phil, I'm going to be very blunt. I love you to death, bro. And you and I both know what it's like to have a wife, two kids, because you have two kids. I have three, but two that live with me. And with two kids that live with you, one that's a toddler, as you can see right here, right there, and to have a teenager that's getting ready to graduate and go to high school, and a wife, and you want to spend time with them, you want to eat your meals with together, you want to relax together, enjoy time. There is little time to be just like, oh, let me go toy hunt. I don't even find it enjoyable anymore. Like when Rory tells me, Papa, can we go to Target and we'll go look for a toy for her? I have more fun doing that than looking for my own stuff because I know one, there's nothing there that I really want. And two, there's really nothing to hunt for. Like all the stuff I look for now is either stuff that's already come out that it's like harder to find, or it's just not something I at the Target or Walmart's or anybody like. Maybe my specialty shops would have. So and you're not unsuccessful. You're successful in life, my guy. You're just not successful in toy hunting. Big in all honesty, big whoop. I'd rather be successful in life than in toy hunting. All right. Carol, I shop clearance, so I find a lot of flea markets around here. And see, that's the other thing too. The closest flea market to me is like an hour away, and it's not in the greatest of areas. And I've gone there once or twice, and the guys that have booths there, they sell eBay prices. They sell Mercari prices. They're collectors that are scalpers that are looking to turn over product and not really help anybody out. You know, so it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know, I for me. But if you, Carol, find deals, then by all means, do go ahead. I've actually seen a lot of what a lot of people in my neighborhoods, what my mom used to do when she was alive. Um, Big shout out to my mom. I know she passed away back in 2013. This year would mark 11 years that she has long passed. Right, her birthday pops up on May 23rd. I'm mentioning her because one thing my mom used to love doing when she was alive before the cancer took her, she would love going to what's it called? Garage sales. And around here in my neighborhood, garage sales are. I live near the. I live in a very affluent neighborhood. Like I'm not gonna say I live in a shit neighborhood. I live in a good neighborhood. Like there's a lot of people that we're all working class, but you drive like 1 mile down the road, all the houses are $1 million houses, and literally all the communities are $1 million communities. Like the minimum house price in there is like $800,000, and they always every weekend from now till at least August will have a fleet. They'll have like their little uh what you call it. They'll have their sales, their garage sales, and my friends have cleaned up. Local friends of mine have gone there and bought gaming consoles. They've bought PCs, sneakerheads. For my sneakerheads, they go get the sneakers because the kids don't want them, and they'll just the parents are just liquidating them to get them out the house. You'd be surprised what you can find. So let's see. What did Rolando say? I don't see toys at flea markets, and I haven't gone to garage sales. So I will state this, Rolando. If you get the opportunity to go to a garage sale, it's the best place because you can barter with the people and they usually just want the stuff gone. I've I've gone once or twice and I've got like some good classic video games. I remember my mom and I had gotten. I used to flip a lot of stuff when my mom was alive because when I moved here, I didn't have a stable job. So I would take what little bit of money I would make, and I'd go to a garage sale and I'd flip stuff on eBay and on mostly eBay because I didn't or like the early versions of like Craigslist, but it would have been like the versions of Facebook Marketplace. So I got hip to following those trends, and when I did, I'd make money. Like I'd get like an Xbox console. Like they'd have Xbox 360s, and I'd get an Xbox 360 with like 4 or 5 games, 3 controllers, and they'd be like $100 for the whole lot, and I'd be like, I'm not really interested. They're like, well, what do you got? I had like $200 in my pocket. I'd be like, can I get it for like 60? They'd be like 70. I'm like, sold, and then I'd go, you know, till any of my friends would be looking for one, or I'd post on Facebook, and bang, I'd sell it. So that was a good way for me to make profit. But now a lot of collectors use them as ways to find like comic book collections. You'd be surprised. They're kind of hit or miss. Now, flea markets have always been very hit or miss for me, depending on where you live. So here in Charlotte, there's like 3 flea markets. One of them's near my wife's job. It's about like 30 minutes away from her job, which is still 30 minutes from her house. So it's like they're all within an hour range. It's either if I go towards my wife's job or towards like the town, like my where my brother-in-law lives. It's like there's really no like set flea market that I can go to and say, yeah, let me hit this flea market. And the last time I did go to one, like I said, it wasn't really, it was a lot of like used video games, used consoles. The guy was selling them at eBay marked up prices. And, the few toy vendors that I did see, those vendors, um, you know, they sometimes had good stuff. Like you might catch a deal, you know, it wasn't always, it was kind of hit or miss. So, but yeah, like that's how it was. So and then I see Rolanda, you said something else here. Let me see. You said that you grew up going to Grails. Yeah, that's how it was, dude. My mom was awesome. She was a very cool person, man. My littlest one, she's named after her. It's her, well, her first name, not her first name, but my mom's first name is her middle name. So, and all 3 of my kids all have names from TV shows or movies, like people in Hollywood. We'll just put it that way. So, but yeah, like that's been the news. Like I notice a lot of people are like making that jump and trend towards going into those realms of like, sticking to online. I've said that for years, and I'm gonna still say it. You know, mm, I'm gonna still say it. You're not gonna find a lot of stuff on unless you go online. And even online, where do you shop? Do you shop at like Nerdzoic store? Do you shop at like, if you're into Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions, do you go to the Fourth Horseman store? Do you shop at Big Bad Toys? Do you shop at Entertainment Earth? Entertainment Earth, wow, I can't believe I'm going to eat my words on this one. I don't love Entertainment Earth, but they are killing it for Loungefly. Why do I say that? Because I was able to get this from them, which is official Loungefly. For y'all know that I'm a huge Across the Spider-Verse fan, and I was able to get this Spider-Gwen with Miles wallet, which I was very happy with. And I got a big-ass Miles Morales backpack that came in. And I think tomorrow the pins, the official Loungefly Marvel uh, collaboration with them for 4 pins comes in tomorrow. Hey, Cobb, what's good? What's good? And then my wife, because she's a huge Gilmore Girls fan, they had released a backpack and a wallet for her, and I pre-ordered that. It was supposed to come out for her birthday, which is the day before mine, July 17th, and mine's July 18th. But I ended up having the misfortune of them delaying them till September. So I told my wife, I said, consider it a back to school gift. You'll be getting this purse and this wallet for then. So she found it amusing. But yeah, Entertainment Earth has been killing it in that. And then I'm noticing Entertainment Earth is Big Bad Toys is killing it for everything else. Amazon, and Hasbro. What exclusives are left? Okay, so here I'm gonna hit with some questions. So, Fig, you say online stores, obviously Big Bad Toys, Amazon, certain Hasbro exclusives on Hasbro. So let me ask you this: what exclusives are on Hasbro that are not on Amazon? Because the Cosmic Rangers that were from that were an Amazon exclusive are now on their website. Um, if you go look around, like Dr. Mindbender is not up there. You can't get Dr. Mindbender. You can't get Serpentor. Those are all aftermarket figures, and those were Hasbro exclusives. A lot of the good Ghostbusters figures are not sold on there anymore. Let's not even talk about Power Rangers because that's a dead franchise. So it's tough. It's tough to see what you're looking for. Anyway, for me, anyway, you know, and I see everybody thanking each other. That's what I love about this community, man. Y'all just make my day. I love seeing this is the love I like to see. Where we all spread it and we're all happy. No bullshit drama. So I last week defined Grails. I defined it. I was like, how do I define Grails? And again, why am I going back to this topic? I feel like it was an interesting topic that sparked a lot of fun conversation. So I wanted to go back to it briefly, but to also show you guys some of the grails I'm hunting. Because lo and behold, some of the grails I want are not that far out of my reach, but they're far enough. And then, of course, yeah, the good GI Joe exclusives, but again, like Doctor Mindbender is like over $100. Serpentor with the air skiff, that's like a $200 GI Joe classified. Let's not even talk about the Hiss tank or the Sky Striker or any of the other good ones because those are like ridiculous. That's why you guys got to let Dave's Dimension. I'm gonna start like reaching out to him if I want any vehicles, especially that Slaughter's Marauder one. I kind of want to get that because I had Sergeant Slaughter and I loved that vehicle when I was a kid. Um, so Grails, to me, what I defined a Grail as is anything that particularly is either out of your reach and has a memory attached to it for you. Either it can be a positive memory. It can be a memory that you never gotten the item. It can be something that you've always wanted and that your parents weren't able to afford it for you. So that's what I would define as a grail. We did have like Captain Spaulding last week. He made some excellent comments. He's like, well, what about an animatronic? Does that qualify as a toy? Could that qualify as a grail? And I was like, yes and no. A grail to you is a grail. Like and I heard Cincy Nerd when I watched his video, he said it recently that the Obi-Wan hot toy, which is amazing, by the way, and that's definitely making my list. But I did start writing down on my notepad. I'm going to open it up here. And I started listing some of my like must haves because I thought about this and collecting should be about what you want in your collection, what fits your collection, more than just having random shit. Let's just start with that. So I decided to start looking at this and I started, and I'll show you guys, I'll flash the camera. These were hot toys. And of course, then I get an email. So there. So for those of you that know, I'm going to start with this. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. If y'all didn't know that by now. Hold on one second. I want to answer. I see that we had a comment. So Fig Fever said, "Well said. Thank you." My Grail, a Kenner 1979 Alien figure. Did they make those? Get out! I would love to see what those look like. I'm a huge. I mean, did HR Grieger like actually set up toys? Because I know Haya did a bunch of those toys for the license and Joy Toy. Ooh, we got to talk about that. That if you can get me pictures and send that in the group chat, I'd love to see that. So one of the hot toys or two of the hot toys I'm currently looking for. If you guys didn't know, I already have it right here. He's at second to the top. That one is the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the non-DX based. So this is a regular hot toy base. The base for the DX version is the Sandman grabbing him. I absolutely lost my shit when I saw the base. I said, "Damn it, I could have gotten this," and I didn't. And I'm kicking myself because I really thought that base was dope. But I then started looking online and I found out the DX versions of all three Spider-Men are all three different villains, which then got me thinking. I said, ooh. And I told my wife, I'll make a joke about this. My wife, I talked about this the other day because she saw the 1/6 scale figures. She knows that I have Captain America, Sam Wilson, and she's like, babe, where the hell are you going to put it? And, we are looking for a new house to move to. So hopefully in the larger space, I'll be able to get like a display case for my Hot Toys and put them in there. And, that is kind of my goal. Hey Sean, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. It's nice to see you. And you said for you the Grail is an Anakin Revenge of the Sith, dude. That you and Cincy Nerd, dude. $700 hot toy. That Anakin is pretty hot though. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty dope toy. So Figure Fever is explaining. He says this was the Kenner figure that was released in 1979, an 18-inch figure. Sorry, types of fest. No, it's okay, dude. That's dope. I didn't know they released it. That's pretty cool. I gotta look into that. I mean, not like I'd get that because I'm not really into vintage, but that's pretty cool. If that's a a grail for you, we could always try to see if we know anybody that has one that wants to part with it. Or I could always take a look at my local because there's a couple of vintage toy shops around here that do get those sorts of things. Um, but yeah, like I this so let me get back. So again, for anybody that's new to the channel or does not know, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. As you can see, my Grails, two of my Grail figures, Hot Toys, Miles and Gwen, and then I got Toby. Now the goal is I need to get integrated suit Spider-Man, which has the DX comes with the Doctor Octopus base. And then I need to get the Amazing Spider-Man, which is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and that comes with the Lizard as the base if I get the DX versions. Now, the DX versions of both those Hot Toys are about $500. Now, obviously, I can't afford to get both. But if I could get at least one, I'd probably get the Andrew Garfield because I think that Lizard looks cool. If I can't get the lizard base, then I'm gonna try to go for the integrated suit, Toby, not Toby, Tom Holland. That way, I could have one of those because at least if I can get one of those figures with their bases, I will be happy. And I do know I have friends like Millennium's Workshop and Dave. They both have offered to like 3D print me, you know, the some of the bases if I wanted to have cool stuff like that. So it is something I can do. So those are two of the hot toys I'm looking for. And to keep in with the Star Wars guys, I am looking for the rest of the Bad Batch. I I know Wrecker just came out and Echo's out. So I need to get pre-order tech and find Crosshair. Really? Come on, Mirage. It's the late lunch. I do it every Tuesday. It used to be on Wednesdays. And it does. Like, what are we talking when we talking $2 figures? Like, what do you $2? Dollar signs. Are we talking like above like 500? Like under 1,000? Like, where's the number at? Because again, a Grail quantifies it. You can get it, or you could supplement your collection to do it. We are chilling, bro. We're having a good time. And Cobb saying hello to everybody. Mirage is saying hello. And one of the things that when I was looking at Hot Toys, because I remember somebody made a joke to me. They said, if you ever get into Hot Toys, you get into Hot Toys. Now, I supplemented my collection to buy all six of those. Now, like I said, I was very honest on how much everything cost. I think the only what was it? So my store credit helped pay for Cap and Bucky. I sold some more stuff and got cash, and I was able to supplement by getting Miles and Gwen. The last of my credit was able to pick up Spider-Man, but I had to pay out some cash, and then Hunter I had to pay cash for. So you know, let me address this before because I like what he said. this kind of sticks with what the whole concept of Grails. I wouldn't say they have any Grails currently. Maybe most wanted, but not to the degree of a Grail. All right, so let's flip this on its ear. Everybody that's watching right now, what would you say your top three most wanted that you could afford items on your list? Top three. If you have three items you could pick right now, I'll give you my three once I see a couple people post theirs. So tell me some like three items that they're not great. They're not to be grails. This can be three items you are like, man, I saw this just pop out. Like I want to get this. And it could be anything, any price range. It could be a NECA figure, it could be a Marvel Legend, it could be whatever. So there are a few exceptions to this with like my Figma Artoria Pendragon yeah, those are Figmas are expensive. For those of you that don't know, Figmas are very highly articulated anime figures. They do some Star Wars, they did some superheroes, but they're a couple hundred, like $100, $150. Figure Fever says $300 and up loose, with some, I believe. Wow. Okay. All right. And you own those. Okay. So again, I want to hear from you guys. What are like three items currently out that you're looking for that are like, if I can get it tomorrow, I would order it tomorrow. Tell me what you guys think. Because while I'm waiting for you guys to post, I'll tell you three items I'm looking for. Um, right now, within my price range, the Green Goblin hot toy. I'm actually selling a bunch of figures to uh to my comic shop, and I'm taking in, I think, hey hermano, Captain Spaulding back into his house. I'm taking a bunch of my DC McFarlanes. I'm keeping Constantine and Swamp Thing. They're the only two multiverse figures I'm keeping, but the rest are all heading out. All right. And he says, yeah, I don't have a specific top 10 now and soon. Um, getting, I am getting the Tomica Premium Toyota 86, the Hachiroku, and the MF Ghost, which is on my most wanted list. So Mirage collects like diecast. He's a diecast collector for Hot Wheels, like cars. What we would call Hot Wheels here in the States. Now he does Tomica, like the Tomica cars are basically like the Asia and European cars that you could get, and some of them have shown up in Walmarts and Targets. Now, I'm not a diecast collector, but I do know that those exist in some specialty shops. Like you might be able to go to like a Michaels or a Joann's, and sometimes even more like a Hobby Lobby, and see them. And they are expensive. Like they're not like cheap because they're imported. So you do pay an upshot on the import price. But I've seen them quite a bit. To be very honest. But so the Kenner alien figure, the Kenner 1980 Star Wars TIE bomber, the Kenner 1979 original Boba Fett giveaway figure, the one without the rocket that fires. Dude, I just saw, I think it was Narc's channel, where he was at a place that was in Tennessee that was selling that. I also want to get a Union flag aged high grade from Gundam Double Zero. Um, Not from this year, as it's from 2007, but it got a recent reissue. Now, for those of you that don't know, Mirage is a huge fan of Gunpla, and he lives in Asia, so he actually gets access to some really beautiful kits. Um, Fig Fever, I do like your list so far. That's some really cool stuff. That original Boba Fett's got, I know that goes for a pretty penny, especially if you want it like loose with the paint at least looking nice. I won't lie, I chewed the hell out of the missile on mine because I was a little kid that had it. Um, so you know, but again, a lot of the cool things I hear you guys say are vintagey, which makes me happy because I'm not into vintage. But I love that my community, or I should say, I don't even want to say mine. I love that our community is actually huge into the vintage market because it's what's driving things. Um, So within my, like I said, so the Hot Toys Green Goblin, that is like number one on my list. Oh yeah, it definitely. You're right, Fig Fever. It would that he's like I can imagine that the price would be way up on that figure. It probably is, and I mean I'll take a look because I know I think my local shop actually has one. My comic shop when I go Saturday, I will take a look for you and see what it costs to let you know. And so Mirage again, he's used. I love the terms because I know what the terms are. So he says, "Haha! I actually recently went to a store for some toy hunting, and I saw a couple of older premium Bandai kits. Those are why he calls it P Bandai kits. I want, but they're not a priority. And that's the other part of this too. Like while we're discussing our list of like some priority figures, items we would like to have in our collections right now. Um, there's some things that just don't they look cool. Like Superior Iron Man, his figure looks awesome. Looks awesome. But I don't want it. The Morna Guardian of the Horde by Mithril Action. That sounds like some third party figure. Is that a third party figure? If it is, that sounds really dope. Oh, you have the Buzz mod Rio Saiba that is coming soon. I really been waiting for an articulated Rio figure. So Rio, you're talking the Rio from Art of Fighting. Because that's a dope. If that's the same figure we're talking about, that is a cool. And I thought Storm Collection was doing that, not Buzzmod. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but oh yeah, the City Hunter one. I did forget about that. And you won't see me cry when you tell me the price. I promise I will not. I will. Oh, so it's 5K Toys. Oh yeah, 5K Toys does some awesome stuff. They actually just posted a bunch of cool stuff that they did. I like discontinued horror, but NECA is coming back out with the Freddy dioramas. Yeah, they are doing a lot of cool stuff. 5K Toys is awesome. For you guys that don't shop third party companies, 5K Toys is dope. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, 3-0, and a lot of people were shitting on 3-0, and I'm gonna tell y'all, 3-0's hitting bangers on these figures that are like the 1/6 scale anime figures. I was not I didn't bat an eye when Toyco put up the pre-order for the Ed and Alphonse 2 pack of the figures of the 1/6 scale. I was like, I love Alphonse, I love Ed. FMA is one of my top 5 favorite animes of all time. I need to have it. And I was like, need it please. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, okay. I like this, Sean. This is a good list. I like that list. So, a graded Spider-Man 300 comic book. We gotta talk because I'm looking for a graded Ultimate Fallout Miles Morales first appearance. Mezco Pink Skull Gig from Hell set and a handful of Hot Toys. I'm with you on the handful of Hot Toys. And that Mezco Pink Skull, those are hard to come by. I know a lot on Mercari was do a lot of people were getting them on Mercari for dirt cheap because people were just piecemealing the sets out. But now the problem is Mercari is charging that service fee because they're not charging sellers any fees, but they're charging service fees, and that service fee they're charging is actually what's killing the market because a lot of people were like, I don't want to pay. And I saw somebody posted in one of my Facebook groups I'm in. He posted it was like a $15 service fee, tax, shipping, and then the item price, and it came out from like $75 what he asked for, and then it ended up being freaking you know like $125. Where are you saving the money? You're not. So, but we like I said, I'll get back to my list since I've been seeing a lot of you guys talk about your list, and I love seeing your lists. So number 2 on my list, um, that I'm currently hunting is is Wrecker, because I do want Wrecker for my Hot Toy set. I do. I'm putting the Bad Batch together, and it sounds bad the way I'm saying this, and I'm not a flipper in any means, but I do believe that if I get the Wrecker, the Echo, the Tech, and the Crosshair, and I hold them, I'm gonna display them. I believe because the show can't is finished, those Hot Toys will spike in price. So just saying. Not also a super high priority, but at least a sort of wanted on my list is the Tomica 8, the AE86 from Initial D. I own two, but one has no headlights, and the other is further in the anime manga. Nice. Okay. So see, there's a lot of cool things I've been noticing. A lot of people putting on their lists. So from you want it from the earlier seasons. So would I love an Ultimate Fallout graded at least at a 6? Yes. Um, just looking at that on eBay and at my comic shop, because there is one at my comic shop, but it's a 9.8. The 9.8 my comic shop, they're asking 500, and I'm not paying $500. Nope. Nope. As bad as I want the book, um, I would take a 6 because the 6 on eBay is going for around $125, and that's a little bit more feasible for me financially than 500. My wife will not buy that, so I apologize if people think that. You know, we try to tell people stay. I tell people stay within your means of your wallet. Don't suddenly, if you can't afford it, don't break your bank unless you sell part of your collection and then you get the $500. Then by all means go buy it. But I would say number two would be Wrecker. If not Wrecker, I don't even know if it'd be Wrecker for sure. I would probably say it'd be the SH Figuarts Common Rider figures I'm missing um, from this current run that I pre-ordered, and I would actually say a dream that's expensive, and I'm hoping it goes down in price, would be the DX driver Kabuto with the hyper boost driver accessory for the belt. I had all those and I sold them years ago for like dirt cheap, and now they're like $400. And I'm kicking myself because I really wish I didn't get rid of it. It was one of those things I got rid of because I needed money at the time. I had no job and I was, basically living penniless on my sister's couch, and I had to sell pieces to make ends meet. So agree. That's what now I have. There's a reprint to my comic grails until I can ever find a good deal. Until I get the fun. Dude, who are you telling, Sean? I agree with you 100%, my dude. It's like you want to get the figures or the comics, but it's just like, man, I'll take stand-ins. I love comic books, but I can't afford like grail books. Like I see these like comic book influencers on Instagram and YouTube, and these guys are just gifted slabs. And I'm like, that's a $10,000 slab. You didn't just get gifted that. And if they did, whoever gifted you that, that's a that's like ridiculous. I get being an influencer, you have access to certain things like was it Paul? What was it? Logan Paul has like that Pikachu card or the Squirtle card that he wore around his neck because he was like, oh yeah, it's like a multi-million-dollar card, and he got it. Okay, I get when you have it, you can flaunt it like that, but like, come on, man. Like, no one has like a giant size X Men, graded at like an 8.5, which is like a almost $100,000 comic book sitting in their house. Like, and if you do, you don't advertise it on social media. Just saying. I am looking for the Impreza that Bunta drives in Initial D. My dad found it in Japan, but so severely overpriced. $40. Good Lord, for a Hot Wheels car? Folks, think about that. Could you spend $40 on a vehicle that you know is like $1, $2 vehicle? That's crazy. And then let's see. He says, speaking of Kamen Rider, though, I look forward to. Yeah, they're doing some great releases on Kamen Rider this year. I'm actually looking forward to the a lot of the figures that like I didn't have. Like I didn't have Zeo. I have Zeo now, but I didn't have um his companion rider. I didn't have a few of the other companion riders, and mostly this new set that's coming out is companion riders. So I'm looking forward to that. And I want me the 2019 SDCC exclusive Motu Origins He-Man Prince Adam 2 pack because it goes for a stupid price. Tell me what stupid prices are. I like to hear stupid prices because things that you could always supplement, my guy. You could always supplement. When you have a collection, if there's pieces that you could say goodbye to, but as I'm waiting for Cobb to talk about that, I am going to address something that I wanted to address, which is a positive thing. The ride for Roswell this Saturday, on Dave Dimensions channel. I will be there later in the afternoon. I won't be there when it starts. I'll be there probably towards the latter part of the show. But Dave knows I'm donating 2 boxes. You can donate $10 to get your name on the list of the wheels. Cobb, I'm gonna let you know I donated $40 and I put your name as one of the 4 names on the list. So on the wheels. So I just wanted to let you know that. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. Check that out. It's a good thing to be a part of. But since I noticed it's taking a little bit of time, I gotta cut this short because I gotta start dinner. So I love you guys. Tune in next week, same time, same channel, obviously. Subscribe, like, comment. Sean, it was great to have you in the chat. It was great to have everybody in the chat today. Mirage, Yukon Phil, Carol, Jacob, Rolando, Fake Fever. You guys are all amazing. Love you guys and girls. Take easy as always, my friends. Stay geeky, y'all. And $350 for 2 figures, that's a lot. Stay geeky, y'all. Peace.